Hello, everyone. I'm going to first do a little introduction to my topic. Then I'm going to deliver 5 points about what we think that can be called the next wave of personal publishing. And then I'm going to explain why you have my photo on your seat. I don't know about you, but I often feel like slightly tired or bored with the fact that the main everyday experience of the web has shrinked into an eternal list of links or status updates that are popping on my screen. And I have to admit that I've never been a huge fan of microblogging. I mean, it's entertaining to a certain extent, but I also feel that it's kind of seriously eroding the capability of focus at one thing at a time. Okay? It's like, it almost feels like it's this constant annoying beat in the background when you're trying to do something, but you can't really. And you for a change, want to listen to some classical music. And so, what would be an alternative? What would be, if we're going to title text-based, pulsing and popping navigational interface, what would be an alternative? Well, how about just zooming in when you see something interesting? I mean, we do that every day when, on the street, when we see somebody, we go to a shop, we see something interesting, we go and touch it. I mean, why not? Because our visual perception really is the most effective filter that we can ever have. I mean, it's instant decision based on huge amount of data about our personality, about our interests, and our values. So this kind of image-based navigation, focusing on what you think is interesting. I mean, this is how our kids navigate, don't they? My 2-year-old and 3-year-old can totally, perfectly consume content from the web by just being on an image and using their forefinger. So we're talking about image-based navigation as an alternative to pulsing and popping text-based navigation. Who do you think will get interested first? Well, there are a lot of different kind of publishers, but mostly those who want to share something else than text. And we think that it's quite fair to talk about the next wave of personal publishing, the first wave of being the emergence of blogs. 2004, it was possible for everyone to easily just compose an article with hyperlinks that refer to different sources on the web and just share it onwards. And so we think that in the second wave, the focus will be in creative sharing of content on top of images and things and physical objects. I wanted to deliver 5 points about this, and first being that hyperlinks or hotspots are now today transforming images and objects into carriers of media. And I'm going to show you some examples. So the way the web is structured is that there is today, still most of the web is text or images, okay, or videos, and kind of in the image category. But on the code level, if you see, image is still treated as an element of the text. And we're trying to change this. So we're trying to make images as important on the code level than text. Because text can contain hyperlinks, it can reference various sources, but images so far, haven't been able to do that. So by giving the ability to easily just add layer links on images, this is going to change, and images transforming into a navigational platform. here is one example. This is a blog created by a teacher called Salil Wilson. He wants to publish examples how teachers can use ThingLink for making images interactive and teaching, for example, history to kids. So ThingLink works in the way that when you mouse over the image, so it's a JavaScript layer on top of it, and you can see these little tags. And you can go over the tag and click and actually hear Martin Luther King's speech.
That one day, this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
And you can also go and see the same speech.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
And so this is really changing our navigational experience. You can start imagining all things you can do with images. So the second point is really that the format, today, the type of content that you can share on image already ranges from text to sound, to music, to videos, to social media, to shop, anything. But we at ThingLink, we actually think that the combination is the key. I mean, of course, if you just want to put buy links on buy this on top of your image, nobody's stopping you. But we believe that if you're putting the buy links on your images, you perhaps should put something else too. Otherwise, it feels like you're kind of caught in a shopping mall, or you're turning your own life into display, advertising display. So here is another example. So this guy, he's an Etsy seller. He makes these wonderful ukuleles out of cigar boxes. And so with ThingLink, what he did, he is giving a sample how the ukulele sounds. And then there is also the shop. But this is quite elegant, isn't it? I mean, it's not really deserving. Yes, you can experience more of the product, and then if you're interested, you can buy it. Third point, discovery is central. When people are not sure what they're going to discover when they hover over an image, they're just going to go on hovering over. They want to turn every stone to find the pearl. And this creates engagement. We think that it's time to say goodbye to Flash and welcome new kind of creativity around images. I'm going to show you 3 examples. First one is interactive infographic as a new form of journalism. So here is an image which was published on Mashable last week. It's about the history of iPhone. Here is the infographic. It contains rich media. There is video, there's Wikipedia links, all kinds of things. So this image was, during the first 10 hours, it was viewed 100,000 times. The hover rate was 500%. The click-through rate was 7.5%. It was shared 4,100 times, and it was embedded on 160 blogs. And Mashable got all the traffic, and so did some other sources as well. Here is another example. A lot of artists and record labels are finding ThingLink to introduce new music, albums, and collections. And also to bring back the album cover art, which practically has disappeared with digital downloads. So they're using ThingLink to embed interesting content for their fans, and also using new kind of images. This is something called Cinemagraph. It's a moving JPEG image. But also, so this image is easily shareable. They tell their fans, if you want to share it, just go on and copy-paste, embed it on your blog and spread it, no problem. That's actually what we want. Another example. This one so far has been the most viewed image of all times during the past 1.5 years. Gorillaz, a hugely famous band by EMI UK, they just published a collection of singles also last week, and they created this fantastic discovery image. So this is just goes on and goes on. So it's a massive image, wonderful visuals, and they had hidden some content here. So they told their fans that go ahead and browse the image and try to find what we have there for you. And this doesn't take people away from the site. So you can consume the content without leaving the page. This is, of course, what all publishers like, because it increases time spent on their site. This particular image, called all-time record CTR, 82% of the people who saw this click through one link. It's almost impossible, but with this kind of creativity, it's possible. Fourth point. Anyone can become a distributor. It's very easy. You don't have to know how to code. And the point here is really that everyone who is sharing something interesting on the web, their material is going to be copied and shared anyway. So our approach is that let's make it beneficial for you. Somebody wants to take your picture, your image and share it. Let's share it with the tags so that you get the traffic. You can guide the traffic wherever you want. For example, Wind Up Records launched a couple of weeks ago a new single for a band called Evanescence. They told their fans that please go ahead and embed this image to your blogs. 200 fans did it. And again, that shows in their traffic. We collect real-time statistics of where your images are embedded and how much traffic did you get from those single embeds. It's interesting to see where your content is actually shown and getting exposure. But what about when just ordinary individuals start adding their favorite song to their profile image or their family images, albums? Here is Sheila. She lives in Helsinki. She's originally from Philippines. She works in Helsinki, but she really misses her family. And I just met her last week, and she was like, she told that Filipinos that they are crazy about Christmas. They actually start celebrating Christmas already in October. So what Sheila did, that she wanted to start creating interactive Christmas cards for her family. So she just wanted to add a little greeting to all the family members that she thinks are suitable for them, or makes them happy or smile. There's a little girl here. Imagine that if you get this kind of card, I mean, it makes you smile. I mean, it makes you laugh. It might make you cry. But it's certainly a very emotional experience compared to the regular cards. They're nice too. But so what do you think a record label would say when we say that? Well, it's actually now possible for ordinary people just to add their favorite song to all their images Well, record labels actually like this. Because, again, they get the traffic, they get the exposure. So we encourage sharing and adding your watermark, making sure that when your images are shared, you add your watermark and you benefit. My last point print is back. This time enhanced. So everything that can pop up on the web can pop up on print too. We're today actually launching ThingLink Labs, which is a dedicated environment to innovate and explore around interactive images. And the first product that popped out of the oven is this rich media notes that you have. Do you see it? This one. This is my image. This is our company card. So when you touch this image with this card with an NFC phone, so it recognizes the URL and shows the same image interactive. Okay? I'm going to show you an example. This is my image. You touch it with an NFC-enabled phone. You don't need any extra applications. Any phone that has NFC, Samsung, Galaxy, Android, Nokia C7 and N9, perhaps the iPhone 5 too. So when you touch a card like this, you'll see what's embedded in it. So I embedded something more about myself. What I could also do later on, if I want, I can change these anytime. So these images are editable anytime. So I can just click the edit button. And if I want to add something, this is what I do. If I want to record a sound, it's going to go to SoundCloud. I can do that too on my image. So you can add audio greetings to your business card, no problem. But let's not talk about me. Let's talk about you. Because I got good news. Thomas, who is our designer sitting over there, working for Design Labs or ThingLink Labs, he went online and searched you all. I mean, so he knows you by name. And so he went on and created some interactive profile images for you. Let's take a look at those, how they look. No, not this one, but this one. So if you want to go and check out, there is a blog called 2011 wired.thinglink.com. Write this down, and you can find your card. I mean, they're not cards for everyone. Those who registered about 2 weeks ago, and of whom we could easily find some public profile images. So there is Hugo, there is Michael, there is Alex, there is, let's see, Judith. What? So Thomas knows your worst presentation, your best presentation. I don't know which one he picked for this one.
So number one.
Great. And good news, we also printed them out. So if you want to fetch your card, you go after this presentation, you go upstairs. There is this wonderful looking stand, and looks like this. You recognize it. You will meet Thomas. You will meet Janne Jalkanen, our CTO, knows everything about NFC. You can ask these cards for your name. You can ask a demo. Please welcome, talk with us. Time to say thank you, David, for the time. Happy Calvin.